Now, what I think is going to happen, I think a black woman is going to be responsible for the first former president being indicted.
Oh, not
That's a
Letitia
bold
James?
prediction.
Not
Fannie
Letitia James?
Willis,
Oh,
not
so not
Letitia
Letitia
James,
James. So you think that
Fannie
was gonna
Willis,
go?
the same woman that indicted YSL. And we're seeing how much of a movie that case has turned out to be. We got YSL Woody telling his girlfriend was a cop. Uh, other people telling people handing Young Thug stuff in court.
Yeah.
We see that this lady, her name is always in the news, right? Because her people, her office is the ones litigating that whole situation. Now it's going to come to down to Fannie Willis to whether Trump gets indicted. But there's a little problem with what's going on. It seems like a woman by the name of Emily Kors is kind of messing up things because she's speaking about the indictment when she shouldn't be. She's doing like a bizarre media tour, and Trump's lawyers are going to argue that this is inappropriate. Her even alluding to what could happen with this case is inappropriate. So he might get off. But I see that there's a recent article in
Might get out.
CBS about it. It was just written a few hours ago, and they're even saying that there might be some, truth to this. Possible targets in Fulton County investigation of Trump allies may try to quash charges. So it's Trump's lawyers are going to try to get the charges gone. Lawyers close to several Republican witnesses in the Fulton County investigation into post-election interference by former President Donald Trump and his allies are preparing to move to quash any possible indictments by the district attorney Fannie Willis. Strong black woman, man. Happy Black History Month. Their attempt to do so would be based on recent public statements by four women of a special purpose grand jury, Emily Cord. That's the one I'm talking about, according to two people familiar with the discussion who spoke with CBS News. The special purpose grand jury served as an investigatory body that could recommend charges but couldn't indict. Willis is now deciding whether to pursue charges and open a regular criminal grand jury to seek possible indictments against Trump or others based on the special grand jury's recommendations, compiled in a report it made following the completion of its work. She has not yet decided whether to pursue charges and has only said a decision on how to proceed is imminent. Imminent in quotations there. If she were to pursue charges, lawyers for several witnesses are preparing to move to quash indictments based on the four women's comments, which they would argue taint any such charges and the investigation. So basically, we have a case of talking too much. She's going in the media. She seems real giddy about charging Trump, and she's kind of alluding to what could happen, and she's not supposed to be speaking on that at all. So it
Well,
could
what
end up
happened?
being,
Hold on.
yeah.
What happened to them just indicting them and going over there and arresting them? Why I gotta be so technical? What's taking so long? To me, it
Well,
just seems like a good marketing plot. It don't seem like nothing's gonna happen because if she was really gonna indict him, we seen what happened with Young Thug. They went to his house and arrested him, and then we heard about the indictment. Why are we having so many news articles? Like we talked about the news article 2, 3 weeks ago. Why are we having so much media press and no action?
when you say no action, what do you mean?
Why wouldn't you just put the indictment out like you do anybody else, and then you go arrest them?
How many indictments are you really reading through the paperwork? Because maybe this is the mechanism to get somebody indicted.
Okay. Well, I just
So
seen
you saying
Letitia
nothing is
James is
happening, but they
media.
put together a grand jury.
No, putting together it on the media.
No,
It's
no, it's
media.
not just the media. The media is reporting on things that are happening in real life. So this is not
Okay.
an article about putting a grand jury together. It was already put together, and they recommended that Trump be indicted.
Okay. So is he going to be indicted for January 6th?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
This is
So
not about January
I'm
6th, though. This is about election interference in Fulton County, Georgia. He has so much shit going on; it's hard to keep up. I know, but this is about him trying to find
what
votes and
make
shit like that.
okay. I'm just saying what
So
makes it different. We had one in New York. We got one in here. It's just like until somebody pull up the Trump and say we had the FBI go to his crib and go into the safe. I mean, if they really wanted to get this man, or if they could, I think that he would been like, what's the holdup? It's like it's all of
Well,
this.
you know the law
I
moves
never
slow,
seen
bro.
nobody. Yeah, okay. When it come to when it come to us and Young Thug or anybody else, it's like they move real fast. But now
I
it
don't know
seems
why
like
you say that because Eric Holder just finally got that symbolic 60 years that Eric Holder just called.
rolling
Wasn't
60.
that like wasn't that 4 years after Nipsey got shot? And that
Yeah,
seemed
but
like
he
a
was
pretty
arrested. Yeah, but he was arrested at least. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, because they had him on tape and everything like this. This is a totally different type of case. So it might
He
take
looking
longer.
like
And
Teflon to me. I don't believe until I see something where it's like I'm
let
hearing
me
all of
just
this
say this. Let me
speculation.
just say
He's
this.
running for president.
There was a point
Hmm?
where he was gonna get charged, and it seemed like there was an unwillingness from prosecutors to charge a former president. So when you say that he looks like Teflon, there might be some truth to it from that aspect, but that don't mean that it can't happen. I think Fannie Willis is that energetic. I don't know how much you know about Fannie Willis, but I've read a lot of short form writing on her. Her father was a Black Panther. She ran for political office before, and she felt like she was held back because of some racist shit. And I see how zealous she was with charging YSL and all of them. She's kind of like letting her nuts hang figuratively. I don't think she's gonna be scared to bring indictments, but I think that it might be hard to do with this lady running her mouth. So I think that's the biggest obstacle that they got
But
at
you
this
still
point.
think he gonna get arrested? But you still feel like he's
I
gonna get
think it's going to
arrested?
get indicted. I mean, arrested is a long time. You putting the cart before the horse. In America, we have due process, so we're a lot of steps away from him getting arrested. But I think it's becoming more increasingly more likely that he'll get indicted. But this ain't good. This ain't good. This is like a win for Trump. So I'll read this last part. Willis's offices has indicted and she has indicated in court filings that others have faced scrutiny in the probe, including a group of 16 Georgia Republicans who participated in an alternate elector scheme and former Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani. So she's pressing people, and just like we saw in YSL, people rolling over. I don't think that Giuliani is gonna, I don't think it's gonna be hard to flip him. They got a
Okay.
subpoena for Mike Pence and Ivanka and Jared Kushner as well. They got a subpoena for them, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Hopefully we ain't holding our breath because they
I know
taking
you
a
don't want to.
long
I
time.
know. Listen, you just don't want to see it happen. I don't know how you could even be defending Trump, man. You should want to see him, you know, come to justice. This man talking about he want to see death to drug dealers. He wanted the death penalty for drug dealers. How you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know
You
how I
don't
feel. I
know.
don't know. What do you mean? What type of drug dealers is he talking about? Fentanyl? I mean, I don't know what you.
That's crazy, cuz.
I'm just saying I don't know what you. I ain't
He
never
want to
heard
bring
of.
back the guillotine, and he want to bring back firing squads for the death penalty. How you feel about that?
I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
it's
it's
gonna
gonna work
work.
either.
I think it's like a lot of this topics. I think it's just great stories. It's great coverage. It's something great to go over, but it's none of this stuff seems like it'll never actually happen for real. It just seems like something that it's a marketing ploy. That's how I look at it sometimes. Until I see like some actual concrete, or I just gotta go off of what people saying and what they saying they're gonna do, and then nothing happens. It's like
January 6th happened, so
it ain't nothing happened to him though. That's all I'm saying.
I mean he's still going through it. It's
He's
not over
fighting.
yet.
Yeah, but how long is it gonna take? That wasn't too. How long
Bro,
ago?
people drag cases for years. You acting like
Yeah, no,
you
I'm saying
acting
you
like
can
you a
still
babe in
get
the woods, like you don't know how the legal
so
system works,
yeah,
bro.
the legal system works that you're guilty until you prove it innocent. It don't
And it's
work the other
slow.
way around. Right, okay. I'm saying most of the time when we see somebody do something, they get locked up.
Nah, I think I've seen cases last long too. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
last long you still
Maybe
gotta
you.
bail out. You gotta bail out. You're gonna have some type of what? You're gonna get there's something gonna happen about that. I'm saying we've seen time and
Something
time
is
again.
happening. People are getting subpoenaed. People are getting called in for depositions.
That sounds
They're
like you
putting
finna
together
heat it.
grand juries.
It
You keep
sounds like you
saying
finna
nothing's
heat it.
happening, but I'm showing you. You in denial, man. I know that's your boy, but you gotta come into reality at some point, bro.
I mean, I'm just ready to see some action. I don't, I see it. I'm getting what you're saying. People getting set up, people getting okay, grand jury, we're trying to indict, but I don't see nothing. And I keep seeing him running for doing his presidential duties. So
He's
it's
doing
like,
good actually. You saw how he showed up in East Palestine with the
right.
waters, with the Trump labels on it. He had
Does
McDonald's
this
for
look like
people.
somebody that's
That was
gonna
a
get
good look.
indicted? Does it look like somebody that's going to jail to you? To you,
Man,
honestly.
how do people who's going to jail look like? You think they can't be getting to it until they get? I don't think. I mean, that's just a weird
So
question, bro. Like,
it's
yeah, he
people
does look like
thrash.
somebody who can get it.
It's people that got arrested for thrashing on January 6th. It's people that got arrested for that.
Yeah,
So if you trying to tell me if there was people that's there that got arrested, and you trying to tell me this man who ain't get arrested yet, and you thinking that you gonna make me feel like they're gonna get him at some point in time when they didn't get him then, they didn't get him with all the rest of the people.
man. I don't know why it's so hard for you to understand that when they've been investigating YSL for what, like, didn't they say 10 years, 12 years, or some shit? Young Thug ain't got arrested until like recently, but they was investigating. We seen that interrogation that we watched with YSL Woody. That's from a whole nother arrest. So it's been years and years they knowing
Okay,
about Thug being
I
involved in
take that.
murders and doing shit, and he finally so you know,
I take that, but
but
they didn't. They
he did.
moved quickly with them people who were thrashing in there. Like they
Man,
got
we know it's two different legal systems. We talking about black and white people. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit longer to flip Trump, man. Like let's just be realistic. But
okay for real.
he's winning in that East Palestine thing where he brought the water and stuff like that. It's people are and you know what? He's partially responsible for that train derailment because he removed regulations that
Yeah,
might have
I heard
stopped
about
it,
that.
and
I heard about that.
Obama is kind of at fault too. I don't want to get too deep in the woods, but Obama, like, maybe he classified the chemicals wrong or something like that, but there was regulation moves during the Trump administration that could have stopped this. So, we're not at the bottom of it yet, but it's crazy that he Teflon enough that even though that's going on, he showed up at the scene, pulled up with the water, and it was a big hit. And he's
Right.
leading the polls against DeSantis, but that's tricky. No, DeSantis is leading in polls against Trump, but it's tricky because when you add other politicians in it and they do polls, Trump wins. Like if it's a
Right.
whole bunch of people running, Trump
Hmm.
always comes out ahead. But if it's just Trump and DeSantis head to head, DeSantis wins. So the more people that's even running, it's better for Trump. But you know, I know we didn't want to stay on that too long, man.
Yeah, that's a good topic to bring up, man. We'll
Yeah,
see,
it's a
man.
good one.
If he becomes the president again, I don't want to hear no more talk about all this indictment talk. That's gonna be done with, I think. What do you think?
Presidents could get indicted still. If he did something wrong and they want to bring him to justice, hey, let's see what happens. You know what I'm
That'll just be crazy to
saying? Yeah.
me. After
It's crazy that they even thinking about indicting his ass. To be honest about it.
yeah,
Like this is way different than shit we've ever seen before, and people don't realize that we're witnessing history right now. It's like
yeah,
shit like that go on, and niggas is worried about Boosie calling Ti a snitch. You feel me? But years from now, this is gonna be like history. It's gonna be in the books.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
We'll
yeah,
see if he
man,
turned out like Young Thugger.
we'll see.
All right, man. So we're gonna catch y'all in the next one, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment, man, share to keep your people aware, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.
I like that one. Share to keep the people aware, man.